Welcome, church family, and happy Wednesday, December 8th. And welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we're having our Wednesday night service. We call it the Midweek Oasis. So we welcome you, one and all. So, what is our Wednesday night service? Why do we call it an oasis? Because it's a place where we can be together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between our Sundays. We present our Wednesday night services in what we call our version of a satsang style, with an intention that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and rich. So we have a gifted speaker come in, speak for about 20 minutes, and then we turn it over for a rich and informal and intimate discussion. Our annual theme tonight is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And our monthly theme, which just started last Wednesday, was the Journey for Becoming. The Journey for Becoming. So if you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you. We're glad you're here. If you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, again, we welcome you. You found your way here through our website. In the lower left-hand corner is a place where you can submit your email address and get on our newsletter mailing list, and you'll receive the Village News once a week that tells you everything that's going on and how you can stay connected both physically and digitally with us. Now, our service on Wednesday nights is remaining on Zoom for the long term, because we kind of like it this way. And so for right now, we're going to remain in Zoom. And since it's in Zoom, we ask that you turn off your camera and your microphone if you haven't done it already, because that helps improve the quality of the transmission. Please stay tuned. Towards the end, we have some special and important announcements. One of the things we will be doing during the announcements is reading our covenant letter, calling in our new senior minister or ministers. This is a ritual we do on Sundays as part of our process to inviting a new senior minister or set of senior ministers to come in and serve us, and lead us. So with that in mind, we've decided to do it on Wednesday nights, double power in that arena. So who's our speaker tonight? Our speaker tonight is a practitioner, and he's a ministerial student. He has a rich legacy. He comes from a heritage of ministers, his grandmother, his uncle, and now himself. He's on his way. He's a ministerial student as well. So we all love him. He does so much for us when he speaks on Wednesday nights. It's always power-packed, it's always intimate, and it's always rich, and it's always informal. So get your notepads out, because he is great with one-liners that are going to last you for a while. So please welcome Luchan Baker. And Luchan, if you would you open us in prayer?
There is one life, one mind, one everything. It is God, it is the universe, it is these things, it is so much more, for God is just that abundant. So in this God moment, I, Luchan Baker, am giving thanks and blessing this service, knowing it is already a success, knowing that the love and companionship and the village feeling that we all send to each other continues forever and ever expanding. For this and so much more, I am thankful. I release, and so it is. How's everyone doing? This is Luchan Baker reporting live from his car in the parking lot of one of our favorite restaurants. It's our daughter's birthday today, so we're out and about. I was actually really excited about doing service this way. It's definitely something new. We're talking about how surrender is action. And I was a little uncomfortable at first when I was like, wow, how is it going to work? And, I got to do it from the car and this and that. And, just like, hey, sometimes we are called to surrender. Sometimes we go through uncomfortable situations because that is us outgrowing who we were before. Our beloved Constance will tell you when it comes to things like email and other techie related things, I'm not really the fastest with it. I've never really been much of a gadget guru, and my little iPhone 6 had finally just tapped out on me. It was like, listen, it's been fun, but I'm ready to retire. It'd been warning me for a while. I couldn't even do updates anymore because I just had no more data left. So looking at that and now being at this situation where we're talking about surrender today, I really saw the metaphor that uncomfort is really just our opportunity to update our consciousness. That's all uncomfort really is. It's us casting off the old us, casting off the old skin, casting off the old consciousness. I want to talk about something I don't really share that often, something I'm not that happy about, but we're family. And I feel comfortable talking about it. And my son's mother and I, we have our moments where we just do not get along that well. It's something that it's definitely, it shapes my life a lot. And I'm talking about things like the holidays. Every year, I've gotten anxiety about it. You know, is it going to be a fight back and forth and the whole thing? And there are times where I want to blame this person for all the difficulty that's in my life. And one day I realized, hey, wait a minute. Do I really believe this stuff or not? Do I really believe God is all there is? Do I really believe everyone we come across is a child and divine expression of God? Do I really believe this? And what I realized, right, while I would blame not just this person, but so many other people, you know, whoever the president may be at the time, or racism, or any of these things, what I'm really realizing is blaming others and really just the drama in particular, that's really me distracting myself so that I don't have to deal with my own greatness. That's really what it is. Anytime we're ever blaming anyone, mad at anyone, sharing in the drama with anyone, what we are really doing is saying, look, this greatness that is calling to be expressed out of me, this greatness that is being called to be manifested and shown, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like stepping into it. In order for me to be that, I have to let go of who I am currently. I get to be uncomfortable. And I'll be honest with y'all, I don't always feel like doing that. I mean, I say it out loud like, oh yeah, I want to be great. But then I remember what that means. That may mean that I don't get to have that dessert because I need to be working out instead. That may mean that I don't get to read that book or watch that program I want to because I need to be studying instead. It may mean a lot of things. But here's the thing about it. You are already great anyway, which means the work that it takes to be the greatest version of yourself, that's going to happen anyway. Now, it can happen gracefully or it can happen the other way, but it will happen. And when I find myself in the difficulty, when I find myself in the drama, when I find myself in the argument, what I'm realizing is that's just me saying, I don't feel like dealing with the greatness. I'd rather get caught up in something else so that I don't have to deal with it. I'm recognizing in myself because I realize I've been recognizing everybody else for so long, thinking that I'm getting away with it. But I don't get away. Nobody gets away. It was brought to my attention how close Steph is to breaking the record tonight, Stephen Curry from the Warriors. And whenever I think of Steph, because I'm a real Warrior fan, you know, not like the ones who still have the Kobe jerseys in their closet. next to the Michael Jordan jersey that they stopped wearing. I'm a real Warrior fan. I got laughed at for so long. Now it's fashionable, and I get it. You know, y'all are welcome aboard. Those who haven't always been aboard, but hey, it is what it is. But when I look at Steph, I think about his story. A lot of people don't realize that this team that he's on was not a great team always. We used to be the laughing stock of the NBA. Even more than that, we used to get the greatest players and then trade them off to other teams and then watch them get a ring with the other team. That happened so many times. So Steph comes to this team. Just that alone could have been his reason to be like, oh, my career's over. I'm a Warrior. But he didn't do that. He honed his craft. He sharpened his blades. He surrendered to his greatness and allowed the greatness of he to really just illuminate this team to the point to where they saw something in him and say, you know, we can build a team around him, a championship team. And as he started getting good, as his skills started being recognized, of course, we all know Nike is the mecca of all shoe companies. You get a Nike endorsement, it's like, you made it, homie. You're here. And I don't know if all of you know this, but one day he goes to that Nike meeting where they wanted to show him the prototype of the shoe they wanted to give him. And when he gets there, he's immediately turned off because when he looks at the shoe, it says Stephen Curry on it. Who is Stephen? I'm Stephen. That could have been his opportunity right there to see, they don't even recognize my skills. They don't even know my name. He could have gave up right then. And honestly, we would have understood. Like, well, yeah, you never stood a chance. You came out as a Warrior, and then Nike didn't even get your name right. But he kept at it through injuries, through all kinds of stuff behind the scenes we don't even know about. And look at him now, about to be named one of the greatest shooters ever. Now, you may not be a sports fan, but we all know greatness. Because we are greatness. This very thing that we call the universe, we are of the same essence as. We are the universe. You can never not be great. But just like our devices, we are constantly updating, constantly. And what happens when we don't pay attention to those updates? Eventually we crash. So today I am telling you that I am ready to stop crashing. I'm ready. No matter how inconvenient those updates may be, when I don't feel like doing them, when God is telling me, hey, it's time for you to update yourself, you don't do that anymore. You've outgrown that. You have something greater waiting on you. I have to remember that. It's scary. It's scary surrendering to our greatness. At least for me, you know, that is frightening. I've been this person for so long. For me to surrender to a new me, to a new version of me, what will that mean? Who will I hang out with? What friends will I be leaving behind? Surrender is action. The only person we're ever in competition with anyway is who we were yesterday. I get to remember that. Surrender is a beautiful thing. Surrender is literally putting the ego in check. And I mean, my ego, listen, that dude right there, I try to keep that dude away. But there's opportunities where the ego is like, hey, let me in there. Let me try. If you it's like, wait a minute, no, I put you away. I don't need you for this right now. I'm surrendering so that God can take the will. All of you are beautiful. All of you are amazing. All of you do awesome things. You are awesome right now in this moment. But let's be honest. When we surrender, see, now we're God awesome. That's a different kind of awesome there. That's the most awesome we can be. This is why we meditate. This is why we say positive affirmation. This is why we allow ourselves to put down the board meetings and the commute and the whatever we saw on CNN and all those things, whatever news outlet you look at. In the beginning, there was God, which means there can only be God, regardless of appearances, regardless of opinions, regardless of past experiences. God is the only power in existence. I get to remember that when I get triggered and people say things to me that bother me, that hurt me. First of all, if it's offending me, that's only because on some level I'm believing it. What if I walked up to Steph after the game like, you know, Steph, you're not even that good of a ball player? Is he going to be depressed? He's going to laugh in my face. I might get free tickets for making him laugh. Surrender is action. True forgiveness, true surrender comes from forgiveness anyway. As I get older, I'm really appreciating the beauty of forgiveness. There was a time in my life where I really felt like it was a weak thing. It was letting people off the hook, but I'm realizing it's letting me off the hook. It's me saying, look, I don't have to hurt. I don't have to let my head hurt. I don't have to do this dance with you. I don't have to be a part of the drama. I'm excusing myself from it. And it's so easy. It's so easy to do. I'm now going back in my life and thinking about times where I was really trying to have a real argument with somebody and the person just smiled and said, "You right." And I thought I won. No, that person won. That person went on with their day and enjoyed their life. And now I'm holding it all day like, yeah, and I told him, blah, blah, blah. I'm still mad, even though the person said I won. I'm ready to surrender to my greatness. I was, like I do every time I'm about to speak, you know, having anxiety. Oh, I need to make a flyer. I need to tell everybody ahead of time. I need to put it all over social media. And I have a lot of things going on right now, not just school, a lot of things. And so this time I was like, listen, sometimes we can't burn ourselves out. Sometimes we just have to let God flow. And I'm actually glad that whatever shows up tonight is whatever shows up, whoever shows up. I'm glad for that for so many reasons. But listen, I'm saying that I'm ready to surrender my greatness because we're a village. And there's going to be a moment where I forget I said out loud that I'm ready to surrender to my greatness. And because I trust y'all, I know that I have people here who remind me, hey, didn't you just say you don't do that anymore? And yes, I'm probably not going to like it when you say it, but I will appreciate it. My entire family is now, probably shouldn't have said that because it's been telling me surrender is a beautiful thing. I have so much support, especially from our center right now. I feel supported by our center. I feel supported by the entire movement of CSL right now on levels I can't even explain. I mean, you know, people just calling me and, you know, whatever you need, people just showing up. I've gotten so much support within the last year. And finally, I had to call my mom. I broke down. I was like, Mom, this is frightening how much support I'm getting. And my mom just laughed and said, son, it's frightening you because you know what you're being asked to do is vibrate at a higher frequency. And that's frightening for you. And she's right. All of you, you know who you are, all the support, all the love, just everything, calling me and, hey, look, whatever you need, if you need a book for class, so much support. And yes, I'm grateful, but look, at the same time, then I turn around and get afraid. But this is what I asked for. This is what I asked for. And I know I'm not alone when it comes to that. How many of us know that feeling where you actually get what you prayed for, what you've been praying for so long? And then when it comes, you're like, whoa. Yes, Aaron, I'm enjoying the ride too. See, that's the beauty of the roller coaster. I tell everyone I was 14 when I finally rode a roller coaster. I only rode it because all my younger cousins had rode roller coasters already, and I didn't want to be older than them and hadn't ridden one. So I had to pretend like I had done it. And the entire time we in line, I'm scared. I'm freaking out. But I'm not gonna let my younger cousins know that. And it was in that moment where I realized that in order to enjoy a roller coaster, you have to surrender. You have to treat it like a ride. That's why we put our hands up and holler like that. That's our surrendering. Too Short said, "Don't fight the feeling." See, I love shouting out different hip hop references because we have to remember that we can find this message in everything. Too Short, one of the most explicit rappers ever, said, "Don't fight the feeling." Think about what he's talking about right there. That's God. That's God. Don't fight that uncomfort. It's okay if it's uncomfortable, but welcome it. Allow it. It's just you shedding off that old skin. So that's what's really on my mind. Just surrender and what surrender means to me. And I'm realizing in this moment that surrender is really just us surrendering to our greatness. In order to fully surrender, I have to also forgive. I can't grow if I don't forgive. Because to hold a grudge is to stay in that moment. If I want to put somebody in jail and keep them in jail, I have to be in jail with them. I got to make sure they're still there. I gotta buy different locks and do all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about, I have friends who are correctional officers, and they tell me they feel like they're in jail when they go to work sometimes. In order for me to keep someone in jail, I have to be in jail. But the moment I say, "Look, you're free," now I'm free. I don't have to worry about you. I don't need to be an enforcer. God knows exactly what God is doing. We are here to enjoy our lives, y'all. We are here to be happy. We are here to experience this thing called God and nothing more. It really is that simple. But as long as I'm looking at everyone else and holding everyone else accountable except myself, how can I experience that joy? No one can say anything to me and it hurt my feelings that I didn't already believe in the first place. So I realize now that when I'm triggered by something, what that really is me looking for an opportunity to not have to deal with my greatness. Oh, I mean, yeah, I would have made it to the job interview, but homeboy called me so-and-so, and I'm not going to go out like that. You just didn't want it in the first place. Stop playing. Just say that. It's okay. Surrender to your greatness. Yeah, it's scary. Of course it's scary. It's supposed to be scary because you are just that great. Think about that. Think about something you're passionate about, something you'd like to see, the change you'd like to see in the world. You're passionate about it because you are the one to do it. You are chosen. Quit playing. And you know this. You know it. If not you, then who? And that's a frightening thought to deal with. I am so thankful for being able to watch some of the past Wednesday night services that our practitioners have given us. I watched Zoe's, I watched Judith's. So many gems have been dropped, and it prepared me for today where I realized, wow, these people are kicking the very thing I need to hear right now. This is why I love our center so much. Every single thing we need is right here, y'all. Surrender to your greatness. So Now I'd like to just open it up. I'd like to see how people are feeling about this. Who's ready to surrender to their greatness? Who's ready to surrender and let that be their action? I'm just curious.
Did you hear me?
Hi, Luchan. So I was just typing in the chat to put the inquiry. Let me make sure I got it right. Who is ready to surrender? And let that be your action, and let that be their action.
Definitely.
That's the inquiry. So if you're interested in sharing, we're going to spend about the next 20 minutes sharing as part of the service tonight. You can turn on your camera and raise your hand like this, or you can go down into the reactions button at the bottom. And when you click that, you can choose the option to raise hand like I just did. And if you're in gallery view, which is a good view to be in for this, surrender to the gallery view. and so we can see
I'm
you.
not sure what I'm supposed to do.
So if you have something to share, Peter will recognize you. He's going to be our moderator to help Luchan out. So the inquiry is, who is ready to surrender? And will you let that be your action?
And while we wait, Paul, we're going up this hill. So if the service goes out, that's the only reason. But I'm still here.
Okay.
We don't have to wait to be happy. That's what I'm realizing with this surrender thing. And if we think about it, that's what happiness is. Because we have to allow ourselves to be happy. That's a surrender within itself. To you know, I've always had this thing about trying to look cool because I'm not really, but I know how to fake it. And just come on, y'all. Real joy does not look cool. True joy doesn't look cool. It's the corniest thing you'll ever see. You jumping up and down and you're happy and you're crying and it doesn't look cool. But it's the greatest feeling we can ever have, to surrender and just allow ourselves to feel that joy in the moment. You have to surrender to the moment, to the now, in order to feel that kind of joy. I want to wake up feeling that way all the time. And it's a possibility. I don't need a certain number in my bank account to feel that way. I can just decide to feel that way. And that's what I'm ready to do.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying it out loud so I can be reminded of that when I start to start beating myself up like I do sometimes. And just petty stuff, you wouldn't even know. You don't agree. You never pledged this fraternity, and you're not driving this kind of car. And come on now, that's why you pouting. But it's true. We don't have to wait to be happy.
My bright lights don't work.
I like taking myself out of the drama and just surrendering to the now. It's a certain discipline that, oh my goodness. We know Reverend Jeff had that so well. He showed me that very well. Just being able to just surrender to the moment and allow the spirit to just consume you and take you over like that. I saw that man do that so much. It's such a beautiful thing.
Oh my gosh, look in there.
In order for greatness to take place, we have to surrender to it in the first place. I see a hand up.
Maureen, hey, go ahead.
Hi. Hi, Luchan. Hi, everybody. I came in a little late, but I am ready to surrender to my greatness. It's true what they say when, I don't know who says it, but you know, the fear is the fear of how bright we can shine. The more we believe that we are here to play and to be a part of this wonderfulness of the universe, as you said, it's a paradigm shift, and it is a sweet surrender. And I find myself these past, I don't know, month or so, I'm crying when I'm surrendering. It's a beautiful release of surrender. It's not like this jumping for joy, at least for me. It's not like this jumping for joy surrender, like, woohoo, I'm surrendering. It's like I'm letting go of all that was thought to be. And I think you kind of mentioned it with the fraternity, like whatever the kind of petty stuff we go through our minds. I identify with that as well, is to standing in the authority of knowing that as I surrender, spirit is stepping in and showing up. So thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. That was awesome. Thank you.
Constance, go ahead, Constance.
Well, there's another saying that we have, Luchan, which is when you make a decision or make you an intent, that then everything unlike it shows up.
Mhm.
And I created for myself. I sort of said that about my greatness. It was about living in joy, and I said I was going to live in joy. That was my intent. Well, last month I had the worst month I've had in a long time. It was like this boil of anger erupted out of my body. And it was just, and as much as I tried to contain it, I couldn't. It was coming out in places that were inappropriate. And so it took me a long time to sort of figure out that that's what was going on, and that I couldn't depend on, there was part of me that just wanted someone else to be empathetic to me, and I wasn't getting and I finally realized that wasn't going to happen. I had to do it for myself, and um, so it was very interesting, because I'm just sort of on the tail end of that now, coming out of that, and so we'll see. But I think that sometimes that does happen when we make those declarations of greatness. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, that was a tough month for me and for everyone around me, I have to say. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Constance.
Thank you, Constance. Yeah.
Luchan.
Sabrina, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes. fine.
Okay, good. Hi. It took me a while to find the right button to get to you, Lucian, but I'm always determined. I I've become a groupie with your family. But again, thank you for your message. And like Maureen said, you really hit home for me when you talk about basically it sounds like fear of success. And I never heard it put the way you put it today, where I probably did, but never made the connection that, are you guys hearing an echo, or is it just me?
It's not bad. It's okay.
Oh, oh, okay. You're being asked to vibrate at a higher frequency. And when I heard you say that, it really moved something inside me. And I just felt like spirit just moved. And you started talking about when there's something that I'm passionate about. Like, I'm passionate about writing about social justice and things like that. And it's like I have to step into that as with courage of being great. And I was wondering if you can say more about that courage to stand and be great. I'm complete.
Sorry about that. I'm still here.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert on the courage because I get it's scary, but at the same time, something that really helped me was when I was told that failure is the prerequisite to success anyway. We're not going to get to where we're trying to go without scraping our knees in the first place. So let's just jump out there and be eager to make the mistakes. Of course, we all know I'm a hip hop nerd. I can't think of one MC who I respect and love who doesn't have a story of their first time signing a record contract and getting taken advantage of. Every last one of them has that story. Oh, yeah, I signed for this much and this and that, and this happened to me. And, you know, that was their mistake. They've easily quit after that. But after they did that, they got smarter and they surrendered to their greatness. They allowed God to say, hey, that's all right. You'll make better albums. You'll make better decisions. You'll reach down inside of yourself and pull something greater out of yourself. And hearing that, remembering that failure is inevitable and we're not even going to be successful without it. That's what reminds me that I can be courageous. And yeah, you know, I want it to look all perfect when I go in there, but no, it's, you know, it's already perfect. It's the part where you fall down and get back up.
Janine, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Hi. So everything you're talking about, everything you're talking about reminds me of Muhammad Ali. I love his story. I love the power of watching some of his old documentary stuff where he's talking about his greatness. He couldn't be the world champion that he was if he didn't believe that for himself. And it really didn't matter about what anybody else thought. And that's what I loved about his character. I followed a lot of his story for a while, you know, mostly just for the inspiration. But I had a time in my life where I knew I had to let things drop away. I knew that I had to make huge changes in my personal life. I mean, just in general, I was living something that wasn't my truth. And I had to let go of a 22-year marriage that was not serving me or him or our children. And that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, close to it. Yeah, I think that when we let things fall away, it is out of trust in knowing that what will come and what will be greater than. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that in life on a continual basis, letting go and shedding so that we can see what our greatest yet to be is. Because we might think we know, but a lot of times it shows up completely different than we think it's gonna. Yeah. So I know your greatness, Luchan, is in your ministry. Oh, sorry, I'm falling over like crazy. I know your greatness is in your ministry and in your gift. I know Jeff knew it. And I'm just excited to see, excited to be in the stands watching as you reveal your greatness and as you co-create, right, with your greatness, because it's bigger. It's bigger than the you, right?
Right.
So tell me more about that, Luchan. Tell me more about your ministry.
Well, just hearing you say that it's bigger than you, that I needed to hear. Because that I think that's the essence of surrender, realizing that this is bigger than me. God is bigger than the version of us. And when this thing called God has an update for us and wants to pour that into us, we have to remember that our lives, our greatness, the gifts that we've been given are not just ours. And we are called on, is our responsibility to step into that because someone needs to see it. We talking about Muhammad Ali because he wasn't afraid. I'm sure he was afraid, but he went anyway. Like, I have to do this. Someone needs to see this. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Come on, like back in those days, you're gonna change the name that your mama gave you for Muhammad Ali for something Muslim? Are you crazy? And people are also realizing now that the trash talking that he did, that wasn't for the opponent. That wasn't to intimidate the opponent. That was God speaking through him. He kept on telling people, I'm the greatest. More on boxing. Mike Tyson said that every single time he stepped into the ring, he was afraid. Mike Tyson said that. So that lets me know right there that fear that we feel, that I feel when it comes to my ministry, what that really is excitement. So constantly,
everything is lighting up.
I'm hearing it. It's talking to me. I'm talking about it. It can be anywhere. The most explicit, ignorant rap song. Oh wow! If I just flip that and we did it at church, and I can't escape it. And sometimes I want to break from it. Often I'm just like, will you give me a break? And I just no, you have work to do. Sorry. And that's all of us. That's why we're all listening right now. We're hearing it because it pertains to all of us. You're great, and you don't ever get to not be great. I've tried to run from it for my entire life. Thought being a rapper would help me escape it. Nope. Every time backstage, I end up talking to somebody about God and their connection to it. We can't escape our greatness, and it is our responsibility to express it and to see it in each other. I'm thankful, especially for this service right now, because this is more therapy than anything. Because we all, it's healthy. Just admit, look, y'all, I'm afraid. I'm not saying I'm not going, but I get to say I'm afraid. Just look at how Steph shoots the ball. It's an affirmation. That's literally an affirmation. So much that, come on, we've seen him do it and turn around before the shot even goes in. We've seen him do that. That's faith. That's God taking over. You don't do that when it's just you. And that's what I'm realizing. I don't have to. Luchan doesn't have to do it. I can allow God in and surrender to it instead of fighting. But that may mean I have to change my lifestyle, that, a lot of things that no longer serve me, I have to be willing to let go of. But that's the only payoff. And that's a beautiful thing. Yes, I'm afraid. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I am afraid. But I'm smiling while I'm screaming. I got my hands up on the roller coaster. But I'm afraid. I wanted to just be a practitioner. my entire career. That's what I wanted. Let me just be a practitioner. Because guess what? If you see a practitioner that in an argument in front of the bar, it's like, oh, well, that's a practitioner. But oh, a reverend, no. I don't get to have arguments like that in front of the bar no more. I don't get to do that. And that's a beautiful thing because it no longer serves me. But I've done it and I was good at it. And I thought that's all I had to be was good at that because I wanted to play small. Play small, you don't have to have any expectations of me. I don't have to be held accountable. And now I'm doing that. And that is frightening, y'all. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone because so many of you have contributed to this consciousness, molded me, and, you know, so I know that you only gave it to me because you had it already. Let's stop playing like we're normal. You're not. You are not. You are greater than you can imagine. And you know it. I don't care what you've done, what you think you've done to disqualify you. You are amazing beyond human understanding. I don't care who's telling you differently. And the only reason you cannot be is if you believe you aren't, but it doesn't stop the fact that you are. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for all of you, thankful for this service. Just, I'm ready to surrender. I am. And I'm saying that out loud so that you can remind me. We are great. Still here, just helping out.
Hi, this is Eliza on the
Y'all
phone.
still with me? Can you hear me?
Hey, Liza, go ahead.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, wait a second. I'll take it off speakerphone. That's probably better. Thank you so much for speaking to spiritual practices and forgiveness, because that is, for me, the way I can just do it the easy way. You know, I was with this friend of mine one day, and she's trying to change her baby, and he's just screaming and fighting and kicking, and she stopped and she said, "Honey, we can do this the easy way or the hard way." And we all started laughing, you know, and he just surrendered to letting her help him get dressed. And sometimes I say that to myself, I can do this the easy way or the hard way. You know, but the spiritual practices of prayer and meditation and affirmations really make it a much easier way. And forgiveness, and that includes forgiving myself, you know, when I do something that I think wasn't the right way, and finding, you know, what can I learn from that? So thank you for the reminders, and I'm complete.
Thank you for the reminder about self-forgiveness. It was Jennifer Johns who told me the only person you ever need to forgive is yourself anyway. I remember that, you know, when there's times where I think I'm mad at the other person, but really, I'm really angry at myself and holding myself accountable for way too long, and to really hard, you know, this ideas of what it should be, when it's like, that dude, that is unreal. Why are you beating yourself up so bad? The only person we ever need to really forgive is ourselves.
Let's start walking. We gotta go. It's starting to rain.
I think Sarah is going to command our time with that statement.
We're still here.
Great timing, Sarah.
Yes.
We're
So-
still here. We're still here. No.
Okay, she said something about, we gotta go, it's starting to rain. And I thought, oh, she's showing her greatness. It is that time. So Luchan, I want to thank you. Everybody, can we show Luchan some support and thanks? You said so many profound things for us, Luchan. We're very grateful.
I love y'all.
Yay!
Clapping for
Yes,
you.
clap, clap, clap.
Yay, Luchan.
Thank you so
Thank you so much, y'all.
Right. And to Janine's question about tell me more about your ministry, I think it's going to be in 4 wheels. Right? Not 2, but 4. So he doesn't fall down. So
Happy
Luchan,
birthday to your daughter, sweetheart.
yes,
Here-
yes,
Here she
Olivia.
is.
Oh, the birthday girl.
Happy birthday, Olivia.
Happy
Everybody go to
birthday.
the center says happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, sweetheart.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe we should sing.
Oh, we can do that if you want. Want to do that? Listen, you're still connected.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Oakland Choir, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you. Happy
you.
birthday, Kim.
Happy
Happy
birthday
Birthday
to you. Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Olivia.
Olivia.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Yay,
I hope we
Olivia.
didn't scare you, sweetheart.
Lucia, they're showing. Oh, there's the baby. Yay.
Happy birthday. Enjoy the light.
Exactly.
Say hi.
Good night, baby.
Love y'all.
Thank you.
All right, Luchan,
Third
take
time?
care.
We'll see you soon.
Call me when you want to.
I will. You know it.
All right, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy
we're
your
gonna-
family.
We're going to do some announcements now. Peter, there's some important stuff you need to know about what's coming up and what's going on. So, Peter, when you're ready, we can start with the PowerPoint.
Is it
So-
snowing up there in Portland yet?
Hold on, Dorothy. Here comes the announcements. On Sunday, December 12th, Reverend Catherine Socks will be speaking on the joy of becoming. So join us physically and in person in the sanctuary or watch the service on live stream or YouTube. Our in-person meditation.
You're muted, Paul.
Yes, I am. It just told me. Sorry about that. I'm stepping into my greatness. I am unafraid. On Sunday, December 12th, Reverend Catherine Socks will be speaking on the joy of becoming. So join us physically and in person in the sanctuary or watch the service on live stream or YouTube. In-person meditation is at 10 o'clock in the sanctuary and the service starts at 10:30. Please know that if you will be joining us on Sunday in person, everyone is required to wear a mask inside all of our buildings, and we will be practicing social distancing. Next Wednesday, December 15th, is the fabulous practitioner Zoe Muro, and he'll be speaking on the gift of a new journey. Our meditation is at 6:30, the service is at 7, and our Wednesday services will continue in Zoom. We are going to have a candle lighting service and it'll take place on Friday, December 24th. We know it, some of us, is Christmas Eve, and that will be at 7 p.m. and it will be in person. Join us for a sacred evening of reading, song, and light in the sanctuary. But if you can't, make sure you check in on live stream or YouTube because we'll be broadcasting to that as well. After the service, there'll be light refreshments in the social hall. It's Board of Trustee application time. Have you been a member in good standing for 2 years and have been thinking about serving the village in a new way? The nominations committee is looking for qualified candidates to run for the Board of Trustees at the annual meeting on March 4th. Applications are due to Deborah Jackson by December 31st. To check out the qualifications and responsibilities, download the application on the homepage of the website. Or you can see it in the Village News, or you can pick a copy of it up off the table in the back of the in the lobby on Sunday. It's team camp time. Centers for Spiritual Living team camp leaders are excited to announce our virtual winter camp 2022. This virtual event is happening January 14th to the 16th with the theme of Make Room to Bloom. Registration is open until December 15th. Find the link and information on the events page. So let's take a moment, and if you'll follow along with your microphones not on, we'll read the new the covenant prayer for our new minister. My new minister, sacred covenant prayer. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to reveal spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wisdom. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by Spirit. For it is written, I am filled with divine wisdom. I allow divine mind to fill my mind now. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as unity in the community. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself, for I am inspiring unity and diversity, embracing and nourishing our community. I am awakening the wisdom within. I am healing and expanding our community with the power of love. I am engaging the community and building a world that works for everyone. I am deepening family consciousness. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that illumines spirit and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful God is gracious, and so it is. Ashe. So I breathe that in and release it out. And I move into our offering time in this moment. And I ask that you hold your gift, whatever it may be, close to your heart and recite with me the affirmation. This gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. So I release that affirmation through these gates and out into the world, knowing that the work we do with our money is important. Love money, Reverend E says, and it will love you. So I love my money and I graciously donate it to our center so it will do good work not only in the center, but in the world as a whole. The law of reciprocation is in action. So therefore, I'm going to show you a way that you can donate financially. You can go to our webpage where everything else lives. There's 5 ways. 4 of them are here. You can donate using the button and a credit card, or you can mail it to the address listed there. You can text it, because that's the kind of hip way to do it. And that's exactly what our Luchan is. He's really hip. So he would text his in at 510-327-3431. Or you can use the new financial service Zelle to make a donation to giving@oaklandcsl.org. Now that's 4, and I said there were 5 ways. Or you can join us on Sunday if you're comfortable in the sanctuary, and we have a big offering basket willing to receive your gift. So we bless your quick gifts, and I bless you for participating. I thank you for being here tonight. I want to recognize some folks that work so hard behind the scenes to keep us going and keep us looking good and sounding good and give us this platform to use. Reverend Jerry, for all of her constant support on Wednesday nights. Constance does all the administration background work to keep this going. A Zoom team directed and under the direction of Peggy Cotton. We've got Peter in the background tonight, Alice and Luis. Zoe is always floating around helping me out doing something. I see Sage down there. She's been on our team. So I love you, Sage. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're not getting any snow from us, but I think it's on the way. Merry Christmas. Thank you, team. You're all great. It allows us to participate in this forum from long distances. Peter is in Portland and Sage is in Lake Tahoe, and it allows visitors to join us from all over the world. So I'm grateful that we have this platform to do it in. I'm grateful for everything, and I'm grateful for all of you. And I want to thank Luchan Baker tonight for meditating for us and for delivering this wonderful talk. This episode, and it is an episode, Luchan, in your life that we joyously share with you. And that it is being recorded tonight, so it will be on our YouTube channel one day, probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. This is one we're going to want to go back and look at, Luchan. You were just splendid. You said something tonight that stuck out to me that no one mentioned, so I'm going to bring it up real quick. The only thing we are in competition is what we were yesterday. Thank you for bringing that to me. I will take that home as my nugget tonight, along with the long list I recorded, and we'll share with you when we get together privately. So, Luchan, it's time. Can you close us out in prayer, if you would, sir?
Yes, I shall. Let me get over here where it's quiet. Continuing in the consciousness and the surrender to our greatness. I, Luchan Baker, speak my word, knowing that there is one life, one mind, one everything. And in this one life of God, all is well and all is perfect. We welcome our greatness. We surrender to it, regardless of appearances, regardless of fear. The courage and the wisdom and the guidance and the light of God is what helps us along this journey. For greatness is not a destination, it is a journey, and we are all for it. So bags are packed and we are ready. For this and so much more, I give thanks, I release, and so it is.
And so it is.
It is.